Hello, hello. Page 21. So we learned it's not about being fixed or becoming anything out there, becoming anybody. Instead, it's just developing our internal capacity to take full responsibility for accessing present moment awareness. By instructing us how to detach from our experience and observe it, this process enables us to realize that there is nothing wrong with us. That what we are, that we are authentically are, isn't broken. This enables us to see that it isn't us, but rather the quality of the experience we are having that needs to be brought into balance. Not us needs to be changed, just the quality of the experience needs to be brought into balance. In this way, the presence process assists us in recognizing that there's a difference between what we already are and the experience we are currently having. There's a difference between what we already are and the difference and the experience we are currently having. There's no magic or mystery about how and why the presence process succeeds. It's simply a perceptual technology that's aligned with the natural flow and tendency of the mechanics of our human awareness. It honors and applies the moment-by-moment flow of cause and effect through personal experience of the process. We come to realize that the mechanics and insights contained in this process are obvious and natural. What distinguishes this experience from any other introspective procedures is the absence of external rituals, ceremonies, and dogma. There are no toys or power objects to cling to. It requires no belief system, no religious concepts, no awareness of any established human philosophy. The less preconceived notions we bring to the process, the more efficient it is. Everything we accomplish in this process is through disciplining our willpower to consciously wield our attention and intent. We trade time spent in the corridors of endless thinking. We change that for an integrated physical, mental, and emotional experience. We are provided with a continual opportunity to experience each insight because these insights are presented to us during the course of this process as events, circumstances, and encounters within our day-to-day circumstances. So it just provides us with opportunity to experience. The experiences of life that come to us. By applying ourselves as instructed, then witnessing the consequences, we realize through personal experience that nothing has more lasting impact on how we feel than developing a conscious relationship with our shared presence. Nothing has more lasting impact on how we feel than developing a conscious relationship with our shared presence. The presence process invites us to enjoy a personal encounter with what we already are. This is why it isn't an experience we can enter into for someone else, and why we don't enter it to prove something to someone else. Having said this, it's possible that the desire to enter and complete this journey might initially arise as a reaction to symptomatic discomfort and external circumstances. It could happen that it's possible that the desire to go into the journey is because we are seeing symptoms not comfortable. However, throughout this experience, we are instructed how to source our intent and willpower directly from within, so not from something outside. By discovering how to take full responsibility for the quality of our experience, we release our victim-victor mentality. Doing it for someone else, to prove someone else, to get someone else's validation, all this is from the victim-victor mentality. This is outside reasons. The presence process enables us to embrace the insight that authentic growth comes from what we don't know. This cannot be overstated. It also can be understood mentally. The thinking aspect of the mind either assumes that it already knows everything it needs to know, or it believes that anything not yet known can be acquired through the application of thinking and analysis. That's what the thinking mind thinks. But since authentic growth requires a voluntary stance of not knowing, thinking we know exactly what's going on in each aspect of our experience makes it challenging to surrender to the presence process. So as we enter this journey, we're therefore open ourselves to the possibility that we don't know what we are, what we seek, or how to bring about this awareness. Indeed, we may be mistaken about everything we thought we understood. Can't be understated. Authentic growth comes from what we don't know. The mental mind only knows what it knows in the mental world. It doesn't know presence. Doesn't know the emotional world. Doesn't know reality. Presence doesn't claim to know either. Presence is resting as unknowing. Just shared presence. We have seen the intent of this journey isn't to feel good, but rather to feel what's actually unfolding within us right now. In other words, our intent isn't to feel better, but to get better at feeling. Yeah, I love this line. Our intent isn't to feel better, but to get better at feeling. Our authentic state of presence is joyful, harmonious, and peace-loving. However, to awaken to an ongoing awareness of this presence initially requires journeying through the current condition of the emotional body. And this journey takes us into suppressed fear, anger, and grief. These uncomfortable emotional states are suppressed because we believe that whenever they surface, something is wrong. And this belief doesn't serve us. So the actual presence, authentic presence, is joyful, harmonious, peaceful, loving. But to awaken to ongoing awareness of the presence, we need a journey through our unintegrated emotions. Which are messy. Our attempts to try to feel good all the time stem from a desire to suppress the fact that what we are actually feeling is afraid, angry, and full of grief. As we enter the presence process, we intend these suppressed emotional states to surface. As we experience the surfacing of these suppressed emotions, people around us predictably become concerned and instinctively try to make us feel better. By doing so, they encourage us to recover. You gotta recover. To cover up. Recover. Cover up surfacing suppressed emotions again. Our task isn't to recover, but to discover. Take away the cover. When we experience the surfacing of suppressed emotional states to express ourselves to individuals who have no point of reference for what we are engaged, it only invites unnecessary interference. As we make this journey, it's recommended we discernment in discussing our experience with others. This is called containment. By speaking to others about your emotions that are surfacing, they might just be concerned and try to help you feel better, recover them. And that's not what we want. We want to discover them and allow them to be felt and integrated. So you don't want to discuss our experiences with others. We want containment. Be alert not to use surfacing emotional discomfort as a means of gaining attention. Projecting our drama may initially help us to feel better, to recover, but it can't help us to become better at feeling, to discover. Again, of course, your therapist or the one very good friend that you like to share where you're at, and doesn't mean you can't talk. But recovering doesn't come from there. And when you're feeling very uncomfortable emotionally, what I want to do is pick up the phone and start telling my friend how I feel. But that only helps me feel better. It doesn't help me discover and feel deeper and integrate it. Bringing awareness into our breathing is an integral part of the presence process, because our breath is both an efficient and readily accessible tool for anchoring our intention in the present. Initially, we might imagine that the breathing practice used throughout this process is like breath work and rebirth thing. While the breathing practice is used in the presence process isn't aligned with the intent and practices of breath work and rebirth thing. It is consistent with much about these fields of exploration and may be viewed as a accompaniment to them. However, the intent of consciously connected breathing is unique to the presence process. Exploration. But it's unique. Also, this process isn't intended to be pranayama yoga or any other technique that seeks to magnify our awarenesses of breathing with the intent to activate and access vibrational experience. This process doesn't concern itself with breath control, but rather with releasing unconscious control over our breath, so as to establish a normal and healthy breathing pattern. The more authentic and natural. It's not about, wow. The primary intent of consciously connected breathing is the activation and accumulation of presence and present moment awareness through the integration of unconscious emotional blockages that inhibit our current experience. So the breathing is not to change the vibrational parts in the vibrational in your body, gaining. It's about releasing the unconscious blockages which don't allow you to breathe normally, naturally. How does consciously connected breathing activate present moment awareness? Many of us spend our waking hours thinking either about circumstances from the past or events yet to occur. Indeed, the thinking aspect of the mind is almost exclusively engaged in such activity, the past or future. Thinking about the past and future is a mental addiction that imprisons humanity in a distracted internal dream state. We're not here. We're in a dream. Future, past. Overthinking, what will be, and if I'll do this, and that will happen, and what happened then, and reflected outwardly, I'm not sure, as ongoing planetary conflict, chaos, and confusion. It's an addiction. Thinking about the past and the future is a mental addiction that imprisons humanity in a distracted internal dream state. And all you get is conflict, chaos, confusion. Throughout this text, we call this addictive dream state living in time. A condition devoid of the present moment awareness and those of the conscious of consequence. We can be responsible for the quality of our experience, be available to support others, and experience our connectedness with all life unless we enter present moment awareness. We can be responsible for the quality of our experience, be available to support others, and experience our connectedness with all life. We cannot unless we enter present moment awareness. Without present moment awareness, it's challenging to perceive the energetic connection between cause and effect. We remain oblivious of the unified field in which we are all dancers. However, when we are authentically present, we can't knowingly cause harm to others, because the intimately connected nature of present moment awareness equips us with the capacity to feel the consequences of our behavior. Insensitive behavior indicates absence of both present moment awareness and the felt perception that arises out of it. Life doesn't work with mental mind. It works with felt perception. Like sex doesn't work with mental mind. There's a feeling, cause and effect brings another feeling, intimate connection. Life works with felt perception. The feeling of the cause and effect, the feeling, the intimate connectedness, the oneness. Fortunately, we aren't completely lost within the dream state of the time-based paradigm. A lifeline into present moment awareness resides within us all. Our breath. There's no way to breathe in the past or in the future. We can only breathe in the present. By becoming aware of our breathing, we activate a tool that facilitates withdrawal of our attention from both the past and the future. By focusing our attention and intent on connecting our breathing, we encourage an aspect of our awareness to remain anchored in the moment. Wow. Should I continue for one more minute or stop here? One more minute, huh? The presence process brings unintegrated and suppressed memories to the surface as gently as possible, while it simultaneously facilitates safe integration, the gaining of required insight, and the neutralizing of the destructive impact of our suppressed emotional charge on the quality of our current experience. There is a destructive impact which is coming from suppressed emotional charge, feelings, which is impacting the quality of our current experience. And the presence process will help us integrate these suppressed emotions. By accomplishing this, it answers two questions we all ask in one way or another, beginning in childhood. What happened? And how can I stop this from happening again? As long as these two questions remain unanswered, they deflect our attention from the present into the past trauma and a fearful, fully projected future. We all want good. As long as we don't have the ability to sit with these two questions and feel them and feel the answer of what happened, exactly what was felt, and how can I stop this from happening again, then all our life, unconsciously, we're running away from scenarios that might make us feel, again, what we felt, which we don't even know what that is, what happened. But we know, like, something icky. No. And unconsciously, we're constantly stuck in our thinking mind of the past trauma, the future fearful stuff, where it shouldn't happen. Oof. Left unanswered, these questions are a springboard into continual anxiety. The presence process calms and resolves this anxiety at its casual point. At its casual point. The procedure isn't intended to be a spiritual process or a spiritual experience, although it undoubtedly impacts our vibrational awareness. It's more accurately viewed as an integrated physical, mental, and emotional technology that facilitates emotional awakening, emotional growth, and ongoing emotional development. In other words, the presence process is about showing up by growing up, and growing up by showing up. Wow, we learned a lot today. Wow.